Hey, give me 1 sec. Yeah, I think YouTube's just generally better, but it just has no client base.
They say that it has very client base.
Who goes to YouTube to watch live gaming when Twitch is like the fucking center of it? The only people that stream on YouTube are people that are banned on Twitch. And also, like, people who are banned on YouTube and Twitch avoid Mixer like the plague. Even still, they find a different job.
Is Mixer really that bad?
Do you know anybody who streams on Mixer? Nobody does.
Personally, no. People I've seen.
The only people that jump ship to Mixer are people that Microsoft paid to have people use their...
Do you need a link to my channel?
Yeah, if you can just Discord message me.
Titles giveaway. Fucking hell. Titles giveaway. Fucking hell. Titles giveaway. Fuck.
Wait, did you send me a link? Okay, let's see your...
like jelly.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
What? Hey, look, man.
Can you mute my mic in your... like, so it's not coming out? Does that make sense? I'm just like hearing myself talk 4 seconds later. That's perfect.
Why don't you just mute the video?
Hey, there's an idea. Okay, so when you hit the X, what happens?
Everything disappears.
Like close out a week, whereas...
I did. Everything disappears.
Okay. Let's try something. Hit weak orders again.
And I even got rid of your stuff.
Yeah, I think I see what the problem is. So close all the eyeballs except one, and just have rotations with the eyeball open. Like close all the eyeballs.
Alright.
Your mouse buttons that show all your cooldowns, can you hide that between the balls?
My what now?
All your key bindings in the center of the screen that have like the numbers bound and shit like that, can you hide?
How the fuck do you do that?
Are you using Dominoes?
There's bartender.
There should be a way to just like hide that shit.
Like, you want me to hide the numbers and the letters on there?
I want you to hide all of those key bindings from showing up. Like that big square, like however many.
Oh. What the fuck?
Yeah, if you can just straight up hide that, that's perfect. Or can you disable bartender as an add-on for now, just until we like figure?
Is that better?
Okay, that's perfect. Oh, get rid of the extra action button and zone ability and vehicle. Okay, you're good. You're good.
Okay.
Open all the eyeballs again. Now hit X to X out of weak auras. I just want to see what it looks like. Okay, now what happens if you try and attack a training, like using one of your abilities? So yeah, if you know all your key bindings, they'll tell you when shit's up, available to use. This is like very like cookie cutter. Like you can use this, but you can also customize it if there's stuff that you don't like. So like yeah, every time it shows like when things come up off cooldowns that are available to you, what cooldowns you have, etc., etc. And then if you, what, am I not allowed to look at you?
Somebody's showing me something. Wait.
You good?
Yeah, I was talking.
So if as long as you remember what your key bindings are, this shows you when shit's off cooldown and that kind of thing. Everything's customizable, you can remove stuff. But generally, like, I would try and just play with this for now. If you want to turn it off, you can always turn it off. But like, this kind of gives you an idea of like what weak auras can do. If you got a dip though, like,
No,
don't.
She was just asking when I was blocking the camera, and I said, "I'm fucking streaming here, naked."
Now, try switching specs and do like a rotation or a healer.
You see this one?
What are you looking for?
Oh, Master Government.
Okay, you're good. But you can see like all your cooldowns, right? Everything. How much, do you have a thing called Move Anything? Like an add-on called Move Anything?
Not that add-on.
It basically shows every single frame that this game has, and you can hide it. You can hide or move any frame. So you can move questing, you can resize it, you can, you know, like the, I don't know, yeah, you can just like move and resize absolutely everything. Like you can remove the border around the mini-map, you can increase the size of the mini-map, you can hide the zoom buttons on the mini-map, shit like that. But you can also get rid of Blizzard's cast bar by like hiding. I know that you can do it with, like, I use Dominoes instead of Bartender, and I know that you can, like, when you open Dominoes, you can like turn on and off every single bar that you want to see or you don't want to see.
That one is actually pretty fucking dope.
Like this is kind of like the I was just gonna say this is like the tip of the iceberg. So like let's say you're doing Mythic Plus and you're healing it on your Paladin, and there's Quaking, right? So you're trying to look. You can download a timer that's a weak aura that basically, because Quaking can happen on like 20-second periods. Like it has a chance of happening. So there'll be a timer with like little ticks in it, like up to like three bars, like experience bars, let's say, but it's bigger. And so when you see the bar filling towards the timer when Quaking should go off, it gives you an idea of like how you can play around it. So like you can do weak auras like that. I have a weak aura for when I farm herbs. It will tell me exactly how many herbs I have in my bag of each type with like a little icon at the top of my screen. And if I'm in combat, it'll hide it. But I have it so I only load it on my druid, who is an herbalist. So shit like that. There's so much shit you can do. Like you can have it so like when you have a bubble up as a priest, you know exactly how much absorb you have without having to like hover the buff in your buffs tab at the very top of the screen. Like it'll just you can have it set as a number. When I showed you the screenshot of like my setup, there's like a number. It's like 26 point whatever. That's my crit chance, and it dynamically changes depending on if I get like procs of like deadly navigation, or if my trinkets proc, or if I'm in range or out of range on my like incandescent sliver, shit like that.
This is fucking crazy. I feel like I just discovered fucking water.
But like, yeah, it's cool because like if you don't. Like, you'll see how everything comes up. If you were to open the, like, group and look at the children, like, if you don't play enhancement, you could delete all the enhancement ones, right? Hypothetically, and it would still work. But if you want to, like, move it around, you can, like, move each group around. You can reorder the position of the buttons by, like, opening the group, and there's, like, a little up and down. You can move the children up and down so you can tell, like, what you want to see, what you don't want to see first. Like, I made a separate weak aura and added it to one of the Luxthos groups that I had, because it shows, like, when I have a statue down and when I don't have a statue down. But then I added one that tells me... Sorry, go ahead.
What I'm trying to figure out is, you see how you can move these guys?
Yep.
How come I can't move these ones? Oh, never mind. There it goes. So
And let's...
Oh shit, why does it all move?
What do you mean? Like the,
Why is it all moving?
Like every single button?
Yeah.
Because they're in a group. If you want to, like, resize or change... why are they all moving? Maybe they're all anchored to that one. But, like...
Oh,
yeah, it's probably all anchored to the rotation.
Yeah.
So, like... You can move the individual ones around, and then the other thing too is like if you fuck up, you can always delete and re-import them all, right? And it'll go back to the base setting. And like it depends on where you want shit too, right? So.
Okay, so say I want to heal, switch to heals.
Yeah, just switch your spec. Close weak aura, switch your spec. Your shit's going to be kind of fucked up here now, but you can always move everything back to where you want it, right? Individually. But just know that everything is anchored. Yeah, so just switch to Resto and see what happens.
I know.
And the other thing too is like if you change talents within the same spec, it'll affect the bars so that like if you have like a new active ability you're trying to track, like it will track that new ability. Or if you're like
So
Like how with my monk, my chi torpedo, my roll, and my tiger's lust all have their own individual buttons, and they'll only show up when I'm talented into them.
So if I wanted to keep these little guys down here like this, I could probably scale it a little bigger.
Another thing, because most of that shit is set in the group to like hide in unless you're in combat, so they'll only like appear when you start combat. But if you wanted like to see like what cooldowns do I have right now if I got attacked, sort of thing, like you can go to the group of the weak aura, go to the group, go to the load tab, and then tick not in combat or in combat, or like tick it so that it applies to the load conditions.
Right, so if I only want it to load in combat, that's what I'll keep it at, right?
I mean, it's personal preference. I like seeing that I have like Ring of Peace and Leg Sweep and Paralysis up because, you know, pre-pull, if I'm doing Mythic Plus and they want me to CC, I want to be able to see that it's available before I get into combat. Now, let's say that you didn't want that specific cast bar, right? Like you wanted the one that shows your mana bar, or you wanted the one that shows the elemental, whatever.
I want to get rid of fucking Blizzard's cast bar.
Yeah, so with Dominoes, you would just get rid of it. Like you just download Dominoes and then right click it to turn it off and on, or shift click it, I think.
Oh, I could probably do that with this one, no?
I just don't know how to do that personally, like through that one. I only know what I use, I guess.
What's stance bar? No, that doesn't apply to me. The Blizzard art bar, bag bar, score 10. Pop up. Fucking bitch. Yeah, I don't think it works for that one.
I would get Move Anything as well, like just as an add-on, because you can like manually hide stuff.
So that will allow me to do what I gotta do and move that bar.
Yeah, you can hide anything with Move Anything.
Move anything. I see move unit frames, remove bar caps, remove extra action button texture, remove default rate frames, move pad plus, remove bar texture.
Wait, where are you at? Are you? Hold on.
I'm in curse.
Oh, what is this? Oh, do you not use Twitch to manage your add-on?
Yeah, I do, but I don't see it.
Let me find it.
You can see it right here. Wouldn't it be like one of the top ones?
Just type in Move Anything, all one word. It's got 14 million downloads.
I spaced it, that's why.
Ah. Come on, we're gamers. We don't use real ink.
Yeah, you're right. So funny, this would make me blow up is learning weak auras.
You cut out.
So it'd be funny if this is what made me famous, is learning how to use weak auras.
Hey man, it's weak auras is tough to learn. Like it's not user friendly until you understand like why. It's like music production, right? Like,
Well, that's why I never
dumb things.
fucked with that. Because already I'm over here like, what the fuck? But I've already learned a pretty good bit. Okay, so now how does move anything go?
Okay, so when you load in, type /move. Like just in the chat bar, type /move.
It's already open.
Oh, sorry, I'm like lagging on your stream. Yes. Okay, so you'll see a bunch of check marks like FS, CE stuff at the very top.
Uh-huh.
Do you see that?
Yeah.
So the really cool thing is a thing called frame stack. So the FS check mark. If you check that at the very, very top here. Let it catch up. Do you see the little FS tick box like next to the gray bar that says move anything at the very top? Click that. So now what the frame stack is, it'll show you in the bottom right the information to like find the specific thing that you're trying to turn off. So if you look at the calendar, like if you hover the calendar in the top right by your minimap.
Okay, I got rid of it.
So let it catch up here. Did you?
Yeah, I got rid of it. I just, when you click FS, it tells you, you know, you do /hide or /move. I click /hide.
Okay, I would always just like, you can untick frame stack, but like if you hover something that you don't know what it's called, like the border of your minimap to like get rid of that, or you can resize shit with move anything. Like, if you type /move, open move anything, and then go to something like your bag, right? You can. Yeah, so you could do bag and then click mover, and then you'll get like a thing with like a little D-pad and like an X and shit like that. So like C would be center, the D-pad would move the backpack up and down. So like when you hit B, like this is where your backpack would load, like as opposed to the default right side of the screen. And when you're done, you just hit X to like close the. The other thing that's
Go ahead.
like, you could always go to like, if you go to like Wowhead for your specific class, they'll have suggested weak auras for you to download.
How come I can't move it anymore?
You can't move what? Let me. What are you trying to move? You don't have any of the weak auras selected to move them. So you got to click the one you want to move, which would be rotation. Rotations.
Okay, that's better. I was trying to get this down for it. I don't like it when shit's on my character. Makes it hard to see.
You're unlike me. Like I have. I'll show you what it looks like with my like.
I hate when shit's over my character. So this is the rotation I want to focus on when it comes to this.
Not necessarily. It just shows you when shit's available. So like, you know, as soon as your Earth Shock is available, like you have enough whatever elemental power, like you can spend it. It'll say like this is available now. Like when your Riptide comes off a cooldown, it'll show you as soon as it's available. It's the context of when you want to cast it.
So it tells you how long it's on for, and then how long the cooldown is. Pretty smooth, I like that. It's not bad. Now, the way that this is how he intended it to be.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure for every weak aura, he does it for every class, and he's like typically the best, like vanilla weak aura. Like he makes it so everyone can use it, and all the information you need is available. He also has videos of like each one, so you can look at like how he sets it up and why. It's just basically his are like plug and play, right? But sometimes like you don't want a whole bunch of shit on your screen that's like flashing and shit because it's distracting, right? So. Like, I'll try and take another screenshot here of like what my frames look like when I'm raiding. I just have to load one thing if I can find it. Damn, dude, that food looks fire. The thing in the like top right corner is just like so that I could like sim my raid frames of like what they look like. Because like otherwise I would need to be in a party of 20 to like show that.
Holy shit. What kind of raid frame is that?
It's called Voodoo. I custom made them, but I could show you how to do that if you think that's helpful or like would be beneficial. Like the idea is like any.
My problem is like you see this basic ass Blizzard UI.
Yeah.
I mean, this is as low as it goes.
Wait, is it hidden behind your camera, or like what's going on?
No, like this is how low it goes.
Oh yeah, you need different raid frames.
Oh, I didn't know I could do this. Holy fuck!
Yeah, the other thing too is if you hit, let me see if I can find it. If you hit like escape and you go into, I think it's interface, and then you go to raid profiles, you can change the like frame height and frame width to like tall and wide, and then you can also like change the whole thing.
Well, what I
Like
was
display
trying to
only
do was be able to get it to move like this, but I just wanted it to where it doesn't block my camera. It's always about positioning, man. Which is fucking
Yeah,
tough.
hit interface and then go to your raid profiles and then change the size of the frames by going like tall and wide.
Do I want them tall though?
Just to show you what you can do with the default. Like the default's not bad. It just like I much prefer mine, which is like why I use. Like with mine, like anytime someone casts Innervate on me or I have Manatee active, that counter in the bottom right is really big, and it'll show me that it's like you have Manatee active for this amount of time, which is good for just like the corner of my eye. I can see like, oh, I still have Manatee active. I can like free cast pretty much. Or someone cast Innervate on me, I can free. Like if anyone has anything that I can dispel, you get that like gross green raid thing. If they're out of range, like it doesn't show their class color in the health bar, and it shows like the percentage of their health. Shit like that.
I like this. I got Oh, it tells you when you can reincarnate too. Holy fuck, I like this a lot. It's a fucking complete game changer.
Yeah, and like the more you play with it, the like more comfortable you're like it's easy to understand like where you're looking and why you're looking there. Like as opposed to just like, oh okay, now I see. Like it takes a bit of time, but you know, whatever.
It's really understanding the adjustments and wait, isn't there supposed to be... Oh no, never mind, I'm tripping. I forgot. My Diablo orbs are my UIs.
I don't know. If I were you, I'd play around with them. Try like downloading some weak auras, and if you don't understand like why they're not working, you can like try and figure it out or delete them. But you know, I run so many different weak auras, and I like make my my own simple ones. Like on my Dark Iron, I have a weak aura that like the Dark Iron ratio, like it cleanses like diseases, poisons, magic, cleanses everything, and then it buffs you of your main stat 200 for like every debuff that you cleanse. I have one that when Fireblood can give me main stat, like if I have something that I can dispel, it'll show up and then it'll give me the number of my main stat that I'm going to get if I dispel right now. So like if I have like 5 poisons on me, it'll show me like it is available to dispel and you will receive 1200 agility or whatever it is. I don't know, man. Weak auras are a fucking game changer.
You just this shit, like it's incredible.
And eventually, I would suggest just once you have like, obviously, if you're playing like on alt characters, it's a little bit harder to have like your rotation memorized. And, like sometimes you just need the extra information. But when you play like a paladin, I'm sure Luxthos has a paladin one as well that you could download. But like, just try and not have your frame, like your moves available to be seen, and only rely on the weak auras.
And that's the thing, is being able to remember that rotation. Man, probably my paladin.
Yeah, I mean, even just for healing, like it'll tell you like how long until your holy shock, how many charges you have on whatever ability.
That I can get it to where my regular UI does not proc anything.
What do you mean?
Like, if you can see right now, my level 3 right here is procced up and it's flashing like cast this picture. See that?
Oh, you can turn that off.
How?
Like in the weak aura. Is that what you're looking for? Like in?
I don't want to do it in the weak aura. I want to do it on the actual UI.
That I'm not sure. I know that on weak auras you can like
you can see
turn off.
And my weak aura is procced right here, but also at the bottom it's procced down here.
Yeah. I don't know how to do it on your like bars, like in Bartender. But like you want the weak aura stuff to like show your procs, right? You just don't want the actual like key bindings to.
Yeah.
I would assume Bartender might be able to turn off. What is that called?
Well, I was able to turn that off.
Yeah, it's called Action Button Glow.
That's an add-on?
No. In weak auras, like, it might apply to Bartender, but like if I want to turn off the glow of weak auras, I would just like remove the glow effect with it's like Action Button glow settings, actions, like.
Oh, this is pretty sick.
It's funny because I can like tab out and then I like look at your shit and it shows me like moving around and shit.
So I can keep that. You don't keep it open unless you're in combat, do you?
The weak aura?
Yeah.
I mean, it depends, right? Like, I like having my shit, some of it available when I'm not in combat, just to see what's up before I pull. But you don't have to. Like, I think it's personal preference. Like, one that I have is like in the screenshot that I sent you in Discord. The one that has like the like sort of faded mana bar and then the two green lines, like those are renewing mist charges. I only have that load when I'm in combat, like in a raid, because I don't really need to see that information outside of that. So like that shit hides. My manatee's only when I use it. The crit, or the dynamic crit, only shows during like I don't know.
Damn,
I
bro, look at
like being
those
able to see.
graphics. What kind of PC you got?
It's like a GTX 960M, but it's like an MSI laptop from like a couple years. This is everything on one settings. Yeah.
Bro, the detail on this shit looks fucking crazy. In the photo, if you like look at the wall, oh, it looks better than my actual shit.
Right.
Dude, I'm digging this.
Yeah, just know that there's like a ton of shit that you can get. Like you can get one that's like when you pre-pot, like it'll show you how long the pot is active for, or when you have a pot available. You can have ones that show like if you're on a priest and you're like, it'll show how many people in your party are not buffed with power word fortitude. So it'll be like the fort symbol with like a 1 out of 3, and then once everyone has fort on it, it'll disappear. So just like super useful things, in my opinion. Like another good one is like, not good, but like that you could have is like when you die, it says don't release in big letters and like shakes on your screen if you're raiding.
See that?
Literally like, wait, what are you talking about? Wait, where? Like, what? Give the stream a couple seconds. Oh, you need to move that down. So like, type /WA, and like whatever that specific section is, you want to move that down. Like I know it'll show like a huge laundry list of fucking weak auras that don't apply, and that's the thing I don't like about the Luxthos weak auras is like you don't know what the centered one is out of all of them, but like you want to like just like open weak auras, drag whatever that like elemental one down to like beside your resources one, and like you just have to like open and close it to see if you're getting close or not.
Is that considered a resource?
No, what would that be? Like cooldowns? Utilities? It might be cool.
It is cooldowns.
Yeah, I'm just trying to like let the stream catch up here, but you want to just like adjust it down, drag it all the way down, and like if you can exit it out, see if it's okay. If not, like just remove it. But like you can get an idea based on where you see the like what's showing, like where it's like where it was and where it is now. Oh, you still gotta move it. The other thing too is for the load tab, you can uncheck load only in combat while you're adjusting it, and then recheck it. That way you don't have to like keep attacking shit in order to like see.
I was just trying to move it to getting away with anything. Bitch, I'm not even fucking combat.
Like just stop attacking and like open the weak aura, and so if it's your cooldowns one, you want to go to the load tab of the cooldowns and then uncheck in combat. Like just like have it so there's nothing there instead. Like, I don't know if this, yeah, just sorry, stream's catching up, so I'm just like watching from there. And now it's always going to be visible even though you're not in combat, or if you're in combat or you're not, so that way you can continue to adjust it until you have it where you.
Shaman specifics, what is that?
I mean, if you click the eyeball and see what it shows, like what ability. It might be like specific talents, like when you're talented into this and that, like, you know. Oh, my OCD is gonna fucking trigger if you don't move that like fire elemental one.
Which one? Oh, because
it's like a couple pixels high. Now, okay, before you move it, if you go to the group and hit group, there should be like a scroll down on the right side, and there should be something like below group scale that would be like X and Y position. Move the Y position like -5 and see how much of an adjustment that is, and then keep doing that until it's like.
How's that?
I gotta wait for this shit to catch up here. This is like way easier to like just help, you know?
Oh, bro, if you were trying to show me this like just through talking, forget about it.
You're gonna be like Nomos in like a week and a half, and you're gonna have like a fucking weak aura for absolutely everything.
Most likely, dude. I'm not even. I love this thing. It's pretty fucking dope.
And I'm telling you, this is just the tip of the iceberg. But if you want me to like,
go ahead.
Show you how to use Voodoo for like raid frames, because like mine, it shows me the mana of all the bars of people with mana, so I can like say like, oh, Simmer's low on mana, I need to like help him by overhealing right now and spending mine so he can like relax a bit.
Wait, so it will show if somebody's spending too much mana?
Well, I'm just saying, for like in the screenshot I sent you, like you can see that like these fake 20 people in my group, like who has mana. So I can see like Forest Panda at the bottom has like half mana if we're like in the middle of an encounter, just so that I know how to like play around sort of like what's happening. So like I can see like who has mana, who doesn't have mana.
I have that on my paladin. My base.
Okay, yeah, it's because like I'm looking at your shaman. I'm like, that's super helpful as well.
Where's it at? There you go. Yeah, I should have it on the shaman. I just turned it on.
Ugh, default raid frames. Ugh.
I like the Voodoo.
It's also like really hard to kind of understand at first, but once you get it, super customizable.
Does it tell people's? No, it doesn't. I thought it told their item level.
No.
Does it say RIP?
I don't think so. Yeah, it means like the person that I'm looking at is dead on
No,
the
I
thing.
know.
So it's just like ignore this.
That's fucking hilarious. R.I.P.
And then you can see like Chicken Crusher's AFK. And like 2 people DC'd.
That's pretty dope.
And like obviously you can change it so it looks, you know, you can have your own looks. You can have it like like my groups. It's like group 1 is like across the left because I'm playing like horizontally, but you can have it so it goes up and down, or you can have like a specific spot for main tanks outside of this main group.
So, great bar that's filling up in between my overload and my.
Your lava burst cooldown maybe.
Now, is that because that's the main?
Now, see what's filling up at the bottom, like right when you did that, what went on cooldown? And now see how the gray bar's filling as soon as it's available? What is that? It might be like your most important.
Yeah.
Okay. So obviously they want you to like cast that as soon as it's up. Like you could technically like hide that bar if you wanted to, right? Like that's exactly how my my big kick bar, like the one that has like a huge cooldown on it, like the orange bar that I have above my blackout kick, that's how it fills for when my what the fuck is that called? Rising Sun kick goes off cooldown.
So, what is that? There it is. Resources. Now, what do I go to? Group?
You'd click the plus sign if you want to like edit a certain thing, and then you'd go to the load tab and you could like load it as never, but make sure that you're looking at the specific child and not the group itself. Like are you trying to like turn it off?
No, I just want to make it small.
Oh, if you want to thin it out, let me see how I can do. Let me figure it out here, and then I'll like tell you how. I think it's rotations. Yeah. Right. So you would click on the child, which would be like mine's. I guess it is a progress texture, but it's like you would go down, and then there is a like width and height. Yeah, that's because your height is 1. Like, does it even show anymore?
Yeah, but it was like fucking super duper fucking. Let's try like 6. That's better.
And try doing the same thing to Lava Burst 2.2. Like, because you see how there's 2 children? Like, just make them equal, because I'm pretty sure they were, right?
Yeah, what does that do?
You wanted to thin the bar, right?
Right, now, cast the bar, I want to thin that out too. Just change the height, right? Is that what that's about?
Yeah, now you're doing that. Try now. Cast name, you would want to change and casting.
Now, Nanoball?
I'm pretty sure you can manually drag the corners of or the like the tops and bottoms of the bar and like do it like with your mouse as opposed to like typing it in. I think that's also
I feel like it's faster to type it.
Yeah, I agree. I'm just saying, like, there are options.
I feel like I get it. Do it too small if I do. Okay, that's so much better.
And then you can move them down to like close them together, close the gap a little bit if you.
Oh, how do you do that? That's what.
You just like, because each time you select a child, you have the like individual thing that you can move up and down.
Now,
So like,
position with width? No.
no, I think you would have to like change the X and Y position, like the manual change. I'm pretty sure you can do that. Yeah, the X offset and Y offset in the position settings, like below width and height.
Yeah, that didn't really.
And yeah, you just like, I find it easier to type in until you like figure out what you want. Like try like -10 or something.
So if I want to go up, I want to bring it to.
You want to add numbers to it. Now remember, this is only affecting the elemental section of this, so you'd have to redo this
yeah.
if you want to heal. Yeah, but like it doesn't matter. This is like really good though. Like you've learned a lot, like super fast. Like to the point where you're like changing the positions, changing the sizing, looking at the load settings, like.
No. Right. Okay.
And then there's also the mana number, I think, as well, which is elemental and enhancement. And you might want to like move that to the exact same position as the like the same X and Y.
I wouldn't want to keep it like that.
I'm just saying, like there's a child in the group called mana bar number, I think, for elemental and enhancement, and like that will change the 100 to like closer, or you can just delete that if you don't want to like see the number since you have it in your orbs, right? It's kind of.
I only have Maelstrom number.
Scroll down. There's a mana number, elemental, and
see,
enhancement.
yeah.
It's below that. Like you could just do load never, right? Like if you don't want to delete it, just hit the load tab and go never. Like if you toggle the view with the eyeball, it's just going to like hide it while you have the weak aura menu up, but then be nothing changed. Like I would just like never delete it, but just put it on in the load tab of that child, put never, and then if you ever want it back, you could always turn that. But that's your Maelstrom number. Unless, like, I'm behind on the stream though, but there's like the mana one.
I get rid of the.
There you go. Now you could. The other thing you could do here, since the bars are smaller, the buttons above the bars, you could change their position, and then in that specific group, like with your whatever Earthbind totem and shit like that, you can change the group scale to like change the size of the buttons if you want them smaller, and like change their.
Okay, so. Which ones? Specifics?
I'm not sure if you hide the eyeballs and then click the one that you want to see when it loads, but it's the one above your bars there.
The smaller one, right? Yes.
Right.
Alright.
Yeah, that one. So you could go group scale, you could scale that down, or you could move it down as well so that it's closer, and you could move the other one, your main rotation, up.
Oh shit. Why isn't it going
Wow,
up?
you nailed that.
Why isn't it going up?
Uncheck set parent to anchor. Try that, maybe? You might have to move the rotation up and then move everything else back down, because everything seems to be anchored to the rotation, and I'm not sure how to change.
Oh, I could just slightly move that up then, like that.
Yeah, you could spend hours doing this shit, just like perfecting your UI, because like once you have it set, it's set for life, and I fucking love mine.
Yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad at all.
The only thing that I think is better as default than like a WeakAura, or I just can't find it, is like if I set my, hold on, am I lagging? Yeah, if I set my port on my monk and it's on my like normal default bars, which I use whatever it is for, it'll tell me as soon as I'm out of range, it'll desaturate my ability to port back to like my transcendence. So I can see like right here, I can't port back no matter how many times I try, but like right when I move here, I'm just in range, and I can't find a WeakAura that would desaturate for that.
Wow, this is amazing. All the top players.
Yeah, I think like Josh Priest's UI. I'm trying to find a. His is really nice. I can't figure out how to like set it properly like he did, but like he uses Voodoo for the frames. He has his cast bar be directly above his frames, and then if like his resource bar is to the left, and his target's health and percentage and whatever else are on the right, and then he's got like raid cooldowns on the bottom right.
Kill Jaden.
But like his is super clean, and you can see like only when things are on cooldown do they pop up on his screen. Once they're available, they all pop up. They pop off. So like if he logs in, like nothing is on his screen that doesn't need to be there. But like you can see his pain suppression has 1 minute off cooldown, then that'll disappear as long as it's up.
Yeah. It's remembering. It's remembering.
I think it's harder with alts, like playing classes that you don't normally play. So like my monk, I hide everything, but my like outside of my weak auras. But my priest, I still have things to like make sure that I know I'm pressing what I'm pressing. Because like sometimes I'll forget about like is like I'll be like, is this cooldown shifty or is this cooldown shifty? Like
Wow. Oh, so you use keyboard for keybind?
yeah, I don't have a mouse for doing shit like that. I make my own macros too.